I'm going to be playing Second Breakfast Challenge number 12, the Dungeons of Cirith Gurat. I'm going to be doing the deck that Micah played with and the bonus deck. I'm playing it 2-player. The first deck, the restrictions, it has to be Outlands, Palantir, and encounter deck scrying. And I have chosen a Messenger of the King. You can't choose more than 2 heroes during setup. Choose a non-neutral unique ally from your deck and put it into play. Add the sum of that ally's printed willpower, attack, defense, and hit points to your starting threat. Then flip this card over and attach it to that ally. Attached ally loses the ally card type and gains the hero card type. Attached character can't be readied more than once per phase. Messenger of the King is immune to card effects while attached character is in play. And the ally that I'm using is Furial. It's a threat lore hero. 3/1/2/3 Harad Scout. Response. After Furial commits to the quest, look at the top card of the encounter deck. Then you may discard the looked at card. I have Baragon. He's a 10 threat tactics hero. 0/1/4/4 Gondor Warrior. Sentinel. Lower the cost to play weapon and armor attachments on Baragon by 2. And the third hero is Herluin the Fair. He's a 8 threat leadership hero. 1/1/1/4 Outlands. Ranged. You may use resources from Herluin the Fair's resource pool to pay for Outlands ally cards of any sphere. And deck 2, I'm going to be also using a Messenger of the King deck, and the restrictions are secrecy, put into play, an item. The ally that I'm going to be using for my hero is Faramir. He's a 8 threat leadership hero with an action. Exhaust Faramir to choose a player. Each character controlled by that player gets +1 willpower until the end of the phase. I have Glorfindel. He's a 5 threat spirit hero. 3/3/1/5 Nordal Noble Warrior. Forced. After Glorfindel exhausts to commit to a quest, raise your threat by 1. And the third hero is Elrond. He's a 13 threat lore hero. 3/2/3/4 Nordal Noble. You may spend resources from Elrond's resource pool to pay for spirit, leadership, and tactics allies. Response. After a character is healed by another card effect, heal 1 damage on it. So the starting threat for the Outlands deck is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1927. And for the Villia deck, it's 13, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. For our opening hands. What we want is Stewart. Well, there we are, keeping this hand. Oh, we got two of them. You want Villia or Light of Valinor. Unexpected Courage. Asphalos. Elrond's Consul. Elven Mail. Gladrun's Greeting. Elrond's Consul and Jabire. Well, even if we didn't get those other cards, we did get threat reduction to get us, try to get us into secrecy. One A. Set the Uric Chieftain aside, out of play. Add the captures of Cirith Gurat and one copy of Dungeon Cell to the staging area. Attach Avon to Dungeon Cell. And each player searches the encounter deck for a different orc enemy and adds to the staging area. I've chosen the Uric Wogrider and the Uric of Mordor. Starting with the first player, each player discards cards from the top of his deck until an ally that is not in play is discarded and attaches that ally to an unattached enemy in the staging area. Knights of the Swan. Oh, there goes Villia. Traveler. Okay, go to the planning phase. Draw a card. Asphalos Herdsman. I'm going to put out Ioris. I'm going to put an Asphalos Herdsman into play, giving all Outlands characters +1 hit point. Go over to the Villia deck. Now we're going to go to the questing phase. Quest for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And there is 7 in the staging area. First card is the Fear of Mordor. When revealed, each ally in play gets -1. That's fine. You lose 2 willpower. And second card is a Dungeon Wog. And that's going to attack the Outlands deck. We're going to block it with Baragon. No shadow, no damage. And then last card, Gate of Iron. So we added 4, bringing it up to 11. So we quest successfully by 1. We're going to travel the dungeon cell. And then we're going to optionally engage the Dungeon Wogs with the Outlands deck. And take it undefended. No shadow. 3 damage. I'm going to put it onto the Heirloom the Fair. Go to the next round. Draw a card, test the will. I'm going to put Asphalos into play. Attach its Glorfindel. Go over to the Outlands deck. Draw a card. Hunter of Lamadon. I'm going to put Steward of Gondor onto Heirloom the Fair. We're going to put another Herdsman into play. The Swords Key. Our Swords Map. Oh, we don't have any. We're going to be paying for that with the Heirloom the Fair's resource. And now we're going to go into the questing phase. I'm going to quest for 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. With Faramir. And there is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in the staging area. First card is a Tormented by Orcs. Each player raises threat by 1 for each guarded objective element. So we each own 1. We each raise our threat by 1. And a Uric Guard Room. Well, your guard room is in the staging area and create the cost of flay each ally by 1. So that is 4. Bring it up to 12. We're going to play 2 Elrond Consuls and reduce our threat by 6. and give Heirloom the Fair 2 willpower, bringing us up to 17. And that we're going to clear the dungeon cell, take control of Avon, reveal encounter card, dungeon wogs. This is going to attack the Outlands deck. We're going to block it with Baragond. Attacking enemy gets +1. No damage. We're going to travel to the Uric guard room by discarding the Swords map. Now we're going to put 2 progress onto the active location with Asphalos. And the Dungeon Wog is going to engage the Outlands deck. We're going to spend 1. Oh, we don't have any resources. We're going to have it engage the Villia deck. Deal out shadow cards. We're going to take the attack undefended. No shadow. Put 3 damage onto Elrond. Take this attack undefended. No shadow. Put 3 damage onto Baragond. And we go to the next round. Draw a card. Boromir. I'm going to put a Hunter of Lamadon into play. And then I discard the top. Look at the top card of the deck. If it's an Outlands card, I put it in my hand. Otherwise, I discard it. It's an Outlands. Men of the West. Now I'm going to go over to the Villia deck. Draw a card. Send for aid. I'm going to play a Send for aid. We're going to use Asphalos. Give it 2 progress onto the Uric guard room and explore it. Spend 1 resource to heal up damage on Heirloom the Fair. Now we're going to go to the questing phase. We're going to quest for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then we're going to exhaust Faramir. To make that 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And there is a total of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in the staging area. We're going to go towards Send for Aid. First card, Tormented by orcs. Well, each player raises his threat by 1 for each guarded objective he owns. So we each own 1, so we each raise our threat by 1. And 2, Mines of Cirith Gurat. So that added 2 to the staging area, bringing it up to 10. We quested successfully by 6. That clears out Send for Aid. So we each get to search the top 10 cards of our deck for an ally and put it into play. Gandalf, Hunter of Lamadon. We're going to put Gandalf into play. And we're going to draw 3 cards. Long Defeat, Knights of the Swan, and a Warrior of Lossernotch. Nori, Eladra Stargazer, Traveler, Arwen, Sulian. We're going to put Arwen into play. Now, I'm going to deal out shadow cards. We're going to take this attack undefended, attacking until the end of the phase. It gets +1 defense. And we have to deal out 3 damage. We're going to do that to Heirloom the Fair. We're going to block this was Baragon. No shadow, no damage. Now we're going to attack back with Gandalf and Avon and destroy the dungeon log. That was the end of the round. Gandalf leaves play. Draw a card. Unexpected Courage. I'm going to put Jubair into play. Now we're going to go over to the Outlands deck. Gandalf. We're going to put Boromir into play. Put a Warrior Velocinoch into play. Put a Knights of the Swan into play. Attach the Long Defeat to the stage. And now we're going to go into the questing phase. We're going to give Jubire the extra defense from Arwen. So we're going to quest for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and we're going to give the extra bonus to Jubire. And then exhaust Faramir to make that 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. $18. And there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 in the staging area. First card is a Torture Room. We're going to remove, discard that was Furiel. Taken prisoner. The first player attaches an ally he controls to an unattached enemy or location in the staging area. If he can't, taken by prisoner gains surge. We're going to play a Test of Will and cancel that ability, that effect. And your guard room. Well, your guard room is in the staging area. Increase the cost to play each ally by 1. So we increase the staging area by 4. Bring it up to 14. So we quest successfully by 4. Now we're going to travel to the Uric guard room. So we shuffle the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck and discard cards until an orc enemy is discarded and add that enemy to the staging area. The prison guard. So we're going to optionally engage the Uric wogs. And their prison guard is going to come down to the Villi deck. We deal out shadow cards. We're going to block the prison guards with Jubair. And removes the shadow card from the dungeon wogs. And no shadow, no damage. Now we're going to block. We're going to let the dungeon wogs go through undefended. Deals 3 damage to Glorfindel. Now we're going to play a sneak attack Gandalf. And deal 4 damage to the prison guard. Now we're going to block the wogs with Boromir. He's got plus. We're not gonna block it with him. We're going to block it with first off, we're going to block it with the Knights of the Swan. And it gets plus 2 defense. So it's got 3 defense, and the Knights of the Swan is destroyed. So it's 8. We're going to attack with Gandalf, Boromir, and Aragorn and destroy them. So we get our Knights of the Swan back exhausted. Reveal an encounter card. Each player raises his threat by 1 for each guarded objective he owns. Well, we have to raise our threat by 1 here, and it gains Surge. Dungeon wogs. Well, that makes an immediate attack. Against the Outlands deck. So we're going to have to take it Undefended. 3 damage. I'll put that on the Baragon and he is destroyed. Go to the end of the round. Go to the end of the phase and Gandalf comes back to hand. Go to the end of the round. Draw a card. Very good tail. We're going to exhaust Hunter of Lamadon and Boromir and play a very good tail. So now we can discard the top 5 cards of our deck, and we can put up to 2 allies into play that do not exceed a combined cost of 6. Hunter of Lamadon, Aether Swordsman, and a Forlong. We're going to put Forlong into play and a Aether Swordsman into play. Oh, there goes my Palantir. And Forlong will now ready at the beginning of each phase because we have a Outlands ally in each sphere. Now we go over to the Villia deck, draw a card, Timely Aid. Well, don't have anything else to use my leadership resources on, so I'm going to play full cost for a Timely Aid. I'm going to search the top 5 cards of my deck for an ally and put it into play. Oh, great, I got Gandalf. Now, what do I want to do? Reduce my threat. Before the end of last turn, I put 2 progress on the dungeon. I'm going to reduce my threat by 5, bringing me down to 26. Now I'm going to put 2 progress onto the guard room. Explore it. Now I'm going to go to the questing phase. I'm going to quest for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and exhaust fire mirror. To make it 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Now we're going to exhaust Avon to make that 23, 24, and gives a bonus to Jubair. So we're questing for 24, and there's a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in the staging area. First card is a torture room. We're going to get rid of that with Furiel's ability. Taken prisoner. The first player attaches an ally he controls to an unattached enemy or location in the staging area. If he can't, he gains Doom 2 and Surge. We're going to give the Hunter and attach it to the Wogs. And card 2 is each player exhausts a character he controls. Until the end of the combat phase, exhausted characters cannot ready. We're going to put on Glorfindel. And Ioris. Now we go to the quest resolution, and we have 1, 2. So we had no threat to the staging area. So we quest successfully by 16. We're up to 21 on the quest, so all we need to do is rescue prisoners. Actually, when Gandalf reduced my threat, I would have had to reduce it by only 1. because of the Mines of Cirith Gurat. So we have only one defense, two defense. So we're going to optionally engage this with the dungeon wogs. Deal out shadow cards. We're going to block the dungeon wogs with Juvire, remove the shadow card. No damage. Now we're going to block the dungeon wogs with Gandalf. No damage. Then we're going to attack with Heirloom the Fair for 2. And deal 1 damage to the dungeon wog. At the end of the round, Gandalf leaves play. Draw a card. Keenest Lances. We're going to put an Unexpected Courage onto Elrond. Now we're going to go over to the Outlands deck, draw a card, sneak attack. Spend 1 resource and exhaust Ioris to heal 3 damage from Elrond. Now we're going to go into the questing phase. I'm going to quest for 2, 3, 4, or 3, and give Juvire the boost. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12. And then exhaust Faramir to make that 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. And there's a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in the staging area. First card is a Mines of Cirith Gurat. And then a Uric Wog Rider. So that added 5, bringing it up to 12. Play the quest successfully by 5. Bring us up to 26. So we're going to optionally engage the Wog Riders and then optionally engage the Uric of Mordor with the Villi deck. Now we're going to deal out shadow cards. We're going to do a sneak attack Gandalf and deal 4 damage to the Uric of Mordor, destroying it. That rescues prisoner when we reveal a card. First player attaches an ally he controls to an unattached enemy of or location in the staging area. If he can't, taken by prisoner gains Doom 2. Well, why don't we just take back this Traveler again? And why don't we attach it to the Mines of Cirith Gurat? And now we're going to block the Dungeon Wogs with Elrond. Till the end of the round, defending character cannot ready. Okay. We're going to block the Wog Riders with Jubire and remove the shadow card. So the Wog Riders are attacking for 4. So we take no damage. Now we've got the Dungeon Wog attacking for 3. I'm going to block with Gandalf. No damage. Now we attack back. We're going to attack back with Glorfindel and destroy the Dungeon Wog. We're going to attack Forlong for 2. Knights of the Swan for 1, so that's 3. And Boromir for 3, so that's 6. And destroy the Uric Wog Rider. Actually, we're just going to attack for 4. And destroy the Dungeon Wog. He's rescued. Reveal a card, Uric of Mordor. And then we can attack for 2. 3, 4. And deal 3 damage to the Uric Wog Rider. I might make it 5, 6 and just destroy him. Go to the end of the phase. Gandalf comes back to my hand. The end of the round. Draw a card Keenest Lances. We're going to play Keenest Lances. 5. And draw 3 cards. Easier Swordsman, Men of the West, and Gondorian Shield. And then we're going to put a Easier Swordsman into play. So I think we have our willpower wrapped up. Now we're going to go over to the Villia deck, draw a card, Timely Aid. We're going to play Keenest Lances. It only costs 4. And we're going to draw 3 cards. Giant Bear, Gladiator's Greeting, and a Palace. Now we're going to go to the questing phase. We're going to quest for 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, gives a bonus to Jabir, 18, 19, and there is a total of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in the staging area. First card is a Mordor Wogs. We're going to get rid of that. First card is Jailer of Cirith Gurat. And this next card is a Prison Guard. So we added 7. Bring it up to 16. Requested successfully by 3. Bring us up to 29. Now we're going to travel to the Mines of Cirith Gurat. And each player discards the top 3 cards of his deck and raises threat by 1 for each ally discarded this way. Scout ahead, very good tail, and Thorngill, so no threat. Light of Valinor, and a Test of Will, so no threat. Now we're going to put 2 progress onto the Mines of Cirith Gurat, because it's not immune to player card effects now because it's not in the staging area. We're going to optionally engage the Prison Guard with the Villiadak, and the Uric of Mordor with the Outlands deck. Deal out shadow cards. We're going to block the Uric of Mordor with Jubair and removes a shadow card. And now we're going to block the Prison Guard with Elrond. Attacking enemy gets +1. So it does Elrond 2 damage. Now we're going to attack back for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to destroy the Uric of Mordor. And then we're going to attack for 3, 4, 5 and destroy the Prison Guard. And go to the next round. Ladium's Greeting. We're going to put 2 progress onto the Mines of Cirith Gurat. And that frees up the Traveler. We have to reveal an encounter card. Gates of Iron. And now we go automatically to the next stage, because there's no prisoners. A. Shuffle the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck. Each player discards cards from the encounter deck until an enemy is discarded and adds that enemy to the staging area. And after I finish with this is when we do the long defeats ability. We got the Uric of Mordor and a Prison Guard. Now 2B, sneak past the guards. 15 quest points. Each enemy in the staging area can't take damage and gets +X engagement cost, where X is the number of progress tokens here. At the end of the round, reveal an encounter card. Then place 1 resource here if no enemies are engaged this round. The players can't defeat this stage unless there are at least 2 resources here. Now, the long defeat. After attached quest is defeated, each player either draws 2 cards or heals up to 5 damage among characters he controls. We're going to each draw 2 cards. Now we're going to go over to the Outlands deck. We're going to exhaust Boromir and Furlong and play a very good tail. Shuffle our deck and then discard the top 5 cards, putting up to 2 allies into play that equal a combined cost of 6 or less. or 7 or less. Farsighted, Warrior of Lothernach, Armored Destry, Staff of Levithron, and Lord's Map. So that was a weak one, but we did get a Warrior of Lothernach into play. So now we got defense piling up. Put long defeat onto the stage. Running a Hennemarth River Song into play. Now we're going to go to the questing phase. The quest for 2. 3, 4. 5. Give the boost to Jabir. 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11. 12, 13, 14. 15, 16, 17, 18. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. $28, 29, 30, 33. And there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 in the staging area. First card, Mines of Cirith Gurat. Second card is a Injured Companion. Each player must choose either raise the threat by 1 for each character you control or discard a character you control. I'm going to get rid of the Traveler and the Boromir. No, we don't want it. Yeah. So we lost 2 willpower down to 31. We added 2 willpower, so we're up to 19. So we quest successfully by 12. We're going to exhaust Faramir to add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to make that 19. Now we're going to go to the end of the round, reveal a card, Mines of Cirith Gurat. Going to put a resource here. Before we go, we're going to spend one resource to heal up damage on Elrond. Draw a card. Song of Kings. Go over to the Villia deck. Nori. We're going to put Nori into play. Now we're going to go into the quest phase. We're going to quest for 31 again. And there is 1, 2, 3, 6, 12, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. In the staging area. First card is a captured. Each player loses control of an ally he controls and attaches it to a stage. If no allies are attached to this stage, discard it and reveal an encounter card. So I guess we'll attach the Henemar's River Song and the Nori. The next one is a dungeon cell. It's got Surge. Gates of Iron. Well, there's a lot of gates around here. A lot of mines. So we added 1, 2, 3, 4. Bring it up to 25, and we lost 0. So we quest successfully by 16. We're up to 35 onto the quest. Now we are going to go to the end of the round. Reveal a card. Each player raises threat by 1 for each guarded objective he owns. We don't have any guarded objectives, so we have games Surge. Dungeon cell. Oh, now we're getting lots of cells. And we get to put a resource here. And we go to the next round. Our next stage. 3A. Fight your way out. When revealed, the first player adds Uric Chieftain to the staging area. Each player loses a hero he controls, discards all tokens and attachments from it, and attaches it to an unattached enemy in the staging area as a captive. Then the player makes a standard series of engagement checks against each enemy in the staging area. Reduce the engagement cost of each enemy not guarding an objective to 0 during these engagement checks. So we put the Uric Chieftain into the staging area. Now we each have to lose a hero. We're going to lose Asphalos. And have Glorfindel be captured by a Uric of Mordor. And now we're going to lose Firial. And put that underneath the Jailer. Now we have to make engagement checks. So we've got Prison Guard and the Uric Chieftain. Put the Uric Chieftain with the Outland stack and the Prison Guard with the Elrond deck. Now we can do the long defeat. We're going to draw 2 cards. And we're going to draw 2 cards. Stargazer and a Traveler. Draw a card. Thulian. Now we're going to go over to the Outland stack, draw a card. We're going to play a Men of the West and spend 2 resources to put a Knights of the Swan and a Hunter of Lamadon into my hand. We're going to put a Knights of the Swan into play. Now all Outlands get +2 attack. We're going to put a Easier Swordsman into play. All Outlands get +3 willpower. Now we're going to put a Hunter of Lamadon into play. And let's go to the top. It's not an Outlands. Now we're going into the questing phase. And 3B, 10 quest points. At the beginning of the questing phase, discard cards from the encounter deck until an enemy is discarded and add that enemy to the staging area. This stage can't be defeated while its guarded objective is in play. If the players defeat this stage, they win the game. That's discarded. Now there's a total of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 17, 21, 22, 23, 24 in the staging area. And we're going to quest for 4, 8, 12, 15, 18, 22, 26, 27, 28, 29, add the bonus to Jubire, now we're going to exhaust the farm air to make that 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. Why don't we add one of the Warriors Velociraptors to make it 31. Let's add another one. To make it 36. So 36 to 24. Yurk Guard Room. Well, Yurk Guard Room is in the staging area. The cost to play allies is +1. Yurk Wog Rider. So I added 7, bringing us up to 31. So we quest successfully by 5. Now engagements. Now, we can't win if there's anybody engaged. So we have to engage Yurk of Mordor. We'll optionally engage that with the Outlands deck. The Jailer doesn't need to be engaged. The Wog Rider doesn't need to be engaged. And the Dungeon Wogs needs to be engaged. We're going to optionally engage the Uric of Mordor with the Villia deck, and the Jailer with the Outlands deck. And he's going to take my Henemar's captive. Now we have the Dungeon Wogs that's coming into gauge with the Villia deck. Now we deal out shadow cards. So this goes over and engages the Villia deck. Deal out shadow cards. We're going to block the Uric of Mordor with Jubire and remove its shadow card. We're going to block the Chieftain with Elrond. No shadow, it takes 2 damage. I'm going to spend 1 to heal up damage. We're going to block with the Jailer with Elrond. Attacking enemy gets +1. So it does 2 damage to Elrond. Now we're going to block. We're going to take the Dungeon Wargs undefended. And I'm going to destroy Elrond. Now we're going to block the Jailer with Forlong. He's got 3 defense. Gets +1, so he's attacked for 4. So it deals 1 damage. And now we're going to attack back with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 7, 8, 9 and destroy the jailer. And we get Furiel back and Hennemars back. Now we go to the next round. Draw a card. Sword of Morsond. Well, we're going to play Gandalf. Cost an extra 1, so he's costing 6. And we're going to deal 4 damage to the Eric of Mordor. And that destroys him. And we get Glorfindel back. Now we go over to the Villia deck. Draw a card out of the wild. Now we're going to go to the questing phase. Looks like we mainly need to YOLO quest because we have no prisoners. And we have to discard till there's an enemy. Now we're going to quest. There's a total of 9, 13, 14, 15, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26 in the staging area. We're going to quest for 4, 5, give the bonus to Javire. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, and now we're going to exhaust Faramir to make 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63. I think that should be enough. We could always put more in here if we needed to, but I think we're good. First card. First player attaches an ally he controls to an unattached enemy or location in the staging area. If he can't, he gains Doom 2. We're going to put the Hennemars play here. And now we reveal the next card. Oh, we're going to, we can get rid of that with Furiel. Attacks the enemy, we're going to block with Jubire and remove this. Next one is a prison guard. So we added 4. So we're up to 30. So 63 to 30, we made 43 progress. So we're up to 48. So there's a win. Sorry about the messy the board state might look, but it gets so clogged up when you've got Outlands lying around with a limited space. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.